versus zeros, isn't it? Heroes have 11 wins and zeros have 0 wins against India in the World Cup. Yes, it was a very challenging match, a challenging wicket to bat on, but Virat Kohli led India to a famous win against Pakistan in this T20 World Cup. Let's take a quick look at the winning visuals. There is Virat Kohli and Indian skipper MS Dhoni taking us across the line. Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan and the likes waving the Indian flag, the tricolour flying high at Indian Gardens as Virat Kohli punched the air, taking India victory and really giving Team India and our campaign a new lease of life in this World Cup, isn't it? It was a disappointing loss against New Zealand in the tournament opener where Team India really performed below power, but once again we found our winning touch as we beat Pakistan and continue our domination of Pakistan in this World Cup.
World Cup, Shobit, I was hearing your start and you were spot on. 11-0. I mean, this is incredible, isn't it? I mean, the monkey continues to haunt Pakistan and it seems it'll never get off Pakistan's back. And the way the match progressed, 118 was never a big chase, but 23 for 3, the talisman stood up once again for India. Imagine Virat Kohli against Pakistan, 183 in that Asia Cup in 2012. Last week, 49, now 50. You know, Virat Kohli just keeps doing it against Pakistan. What an innings. Question for Nikhil. Nikhil, if you were Shahid Afridi, Yuvraj Singh comes to bat 23 for 3, Mohammad Sami 2 quick wickets. What on earth was Afridi doing getting himself on and Shoaib Malik and not going to Mohammad Irfan and Mohammad Amir?
Yeah,
Come.
Absolutely.
Before Nikhil, you answer, these guys are waving the tricolour here. So, you know, the Indian celebrations are just about to start in Calcutta, but go away. Take it.
Well, I guess Boria, of course, Mishti Doi for everybody in Cal, but you're absolutely spot on. Only one way Pakistan could have won this game was to keep looking to pick up wickets. Even when Shoaib Malik came into bowl, I think the most important thing for Shahid Afridi was to get a slip in. If you remember, the very first ball Yuvraj Singh played, there was turn and bounce and he got the single through slips. Had there been a slip fielder there, you know, things could have been looking very, very different, but you're absolutely spot on. You need to get at least your main bowler, strike bowler back coming on to bowl against when you're looking to get quality batsmen out. And some of the field pacing was bizarre. And we all know Shahid Afridi, leg spinner, you're making life easier for the left-hander. So I guess Shahid Afridi didn't even read the conditions too well. Don't forget, they got in Shami. He might have picked up 2 wickets, but they left out the left-arm spinner as well, Boria.
Absolutely, and Boria...
You know, Nikhil, you're spot on, and Shobit, let me just, before I sort of go back to you and Nikhil in the studio, I have a chat with these fans here. 11 बार पाकिस्तान को हम लोगों ने वर्ल्ड कप में हरा चुके हैं. Your first reaction?
लोगों को हमसे कभी नहीं जीतेगा जब तक विराट है और धोनी है वो हम तक कभी नहीं जीतेगा.
Let's have a cheer for Team India. Come on. And what do you have to say about Virat Kohli? I mean,
वो कोई भी प्रेशर गेम में उसको आराम से हैंडल करता है. कोई भी प्रेशर गेम को आराम से हैंडल करता है और हमको जिता देता है. जब वो खेलता है तब हम कभी नहीं हारते.
हमने जो अपनी आंखों में तिरंगा लगाया था, दिल में जुनून था, वो हमारे देश ने दिखा दिया. इस मौके पर एक ही बात बोलूंगा, भारत माता की. फिकर नहीं अगर हम वर्ल्ड कप भी ना जीते.
वर्ल्ड कप हो गया हमारा.
See, that is the sentiment, Nikhil and Shobit. Even if you don't win the World Cup, the fact is you've actually beaten Pakistan. The celebrations in Calcutta will continue late into the night. But Nikhil, a question for you and Shobit. You know, you guys in the studio, we were in a chocker-block stadium, and it was difficult to follow on occasions. But what was Shahid Afridi doing? No slip against Yuvraj Singh at the start, and then Shoaib Malik for a repeat over when you actually needed wickets. He didn't finish Mohammad Amir, he didn't finish Mohammad Irfan. Does Shahid Afridi deserve to be captain of Pakistan?
To be honest, you know, at the start of the World Cup as well, Boria, and during the Asia Cup as well, if you look at leaders who have been able to impact international cricket, they've always kept the team ahead of themselves. Shahid Afridi, for some strange reason, comes across a person, it's Shahid Afridi, then the team. It doesn't work like that. You look at Mahendra Singh Dhoni as well. You know, you watch him handle the team, it's always the team and then Mahendra Singh Dhoni. You look at any captain around the world, it's always the team, then the leader. It's never about the individual. But Shahid Afridi, unfortunately has never been able to come across in that aura, and with that kind of experience, I haven't seen him read the game as well as maybe Shoaib Malik or some of the other youngsters would have done. So you're absolutely right. My vote, no disrespect to Shahid Afridi, I've played a lot of cricket with him, doesn't fit to be leader of a side.
Nikhil, Shobit, before I ask you to go to all our bureaus across the country where the celebrations will start, these people want to do one more cheer. Cheer for Team India. And come on, okay, and one cheer for Virat Kohli especially.
Virat, 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 Virat.
That's the kind of celebration we will witness all night, Shobit, here in Kolkata. Why don't you go to some of our other bureaus and come to me while these fans keep celebrating? Let's see what's happening in all the other cities of India. Take it away, Shobit.
Absolutely, Boria. I'll just come back to you, but just for our viewers, let's quickly recap what happened on the field. Let's take a look at the scorecard. And Pakistan batted first, scoring 118 runs for 5 wickets, mind you, in their 18 overs. And this is the summary of their innings: 26 by Shoaib Malik, 22 by Umar Akmal. It was their 40-odd run partnership that really helped Pakistan score as many runs. They were really struggling at one point of time. However, it was strange, Nicholas, isn't it, that Dhoni also didn't finish the quotas of our lead spinners as well and bowl the pacers. And here is the Indian innings. Virat Kohli unbeaten on 55, really the champion of India's chase, and Yuvraj Singh pitched in with 24, and he could play a very key role if India are to go the distance in this World Cup and stand any chance of winning. Mohammad Shami took 2 wickets for Pakistan in this encounter against India. Here is the quick look at the points table. New Zealand still leads with 2 wins out of 2. However, India have really given themselves a lease of life, isn't it? 1 win and 1 defeat now at the hand of New Zealand. Pakistan still have a better net run rate against India. But if India from here on wins the next 3 matches, then we can expect to reach the semis, along with New Zealand, who are really in form in this tournament, having beaten India and Australia so far. Now, the fans were really excited, Boria, isn't it? And for a moment there, for the entire day, it appeared that the match will not happen because it was drizzling throughout the day, Nikhil, isn't it? So fans who were there at Eden, this victory would be even sweeter, isn't it?
Well, without a doubt. People must have gone into the studio, in the stadium for, say, about 5 o'clock, 2.5 hours prior to the game starting. You talk about an India-Pakistan game anywhere in the world, it gets more special in a World Cup. And, people would have been waiting over a long period of time. It's unfortunate that the game got docked 2 overs aside, 18-over game. But, hey, look at those celebrations. Absolutely. Incredible. Yeah. For a lot of people, this is the final. From here on in, we all want as cricketers that Team India should go on and win the World Cup. But for all the fans in the street,
yeah, the fireworks are going on in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. This was the final for the World Cup. The India-Pakistan, the epic battle. This is the final which Team India has won. You'll have celebrations going right through. You'll have a very, very special Holi as well. Make no mistake about it.
Absolutely. And these are visuals from across the country that we are playing out on our screens at the moment. Earlier we saw even Army Jawans dancing to the tune of dhols, celebrating India's victory. And Ashwin had said before the match, isn't it, that this is not just a cricket match. This is more than just a cricket match. So celebrations happening right across the country. Here is a special report from Mumbai sent by my colleague Rashesh.
Incredible scenes here in Mumbai as India has managed to keep their incredible World Cup record intact. India will not be losing a game to Pakistan in the World Cup. Let's try and pick up a few reactions in World Cup में इंडिया को नहीं हरा सकता, कोई नहीं हरा सकता है. India is going to win the World Cup. क्या आपको लगता है इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप जीतेगा? Yes, India will definitely win the World Cup. एंजॉय किया आपने विराट कोहली का परफॉर्मेंस? विराट कोहली आज बहुत ही अच्छा खेला है. मेरी दुआ है कि वो आगे वाले मैच में बहुत ज्यादा परफॉर्मेंस और अच्छा दे और इंडिया युवराज सिंह के गेम को भी एंजॉय किया. आज एक अहम मौके पे उन्होंने रन बनाए. युवराज और विराट ने मैच लेके आया, बाद में धोनी ने एंड किया विद विराट. They know their cricket, they know very well that it was Yuvraj who made the difference, and these scenes are quite incredible. This is the joy that an Indian victory against a Pakistan team in a World Cup gives to these fans, and each of those fans are going to continue to support the Indian team through the World Cup, and as expected, they are now confident that India can actually go all the way in this World Cup campaign. In Mumbai, with cameraman Mahesh More, Rajesh Mandani for India Today.
So celebrations continuing across the country. Let me quickly put out on your screens Virat Kohli's quote. Let's take a look at what Virat Kohli said after that match, after that victory against Pakistan. It was a challenging wicket. That's what you want as a cricketer. New challenges to play. Last game was very disappointed to have lost. I'm guessing he says we were very disappointed to lose the last game against New Zealand. But Nikhil, isn't it? This is the type of victory that India needed to get our World Cup campaign on track. Of course, we have won the most important match of the World Cup. And now it will be icing on the cake if we can build on the momentum that we've got after this victory and get our hands on that World Cup as well.
For sure. You know, in the last, say, month and a half, Team India has played some fantastic cricket in the shorter version of this game. Australia, 3-0 in their own backyard. You come back, you beat Sri Lanka at home 2-1. You win the Asia Cup as well, so they've been on a roll. It was a little damp now that we lost that first game against New Zealand, but you're absolutely right, Shobit. You needed a victory like this. A shot in the arm, you know, gain confidence. Then you go out there and take on sides like Australia and, of course, Bangladesh and look to get into the Final Four. And Team India has it in their ranks. I just hope that once again we don't see any rain-curtailed game for Team India. And I honestly don't want to see any more of these wickets where the ball's turning square, because this puts a lot of pressure on our Indian batsmen as well. You look at the number of stroke players Team India has. On good batting conditions, you have the bowling to restrict the opposition, but in good batting conditions, you have the batting firepower to get close to 200 runs on board. So you don't need tracks like this.
Absolutely. And it will give confidence to the Indian batting lineup, isn't it, when we know that Virat Kohli and Yuvraj and Dhoni can anchor our innings in the chase. Virat Kohli especially. Boria Majumdar is live from Eden Gardens. Boria, you had been saying before the match that the rain will pass over. However, the match was a delayed start, a curtailed match. But fans at Eden were waiting the entire day for this match to start. And surely this was a sweet, sweet victory in front of a packed to capacity Eden ground, isn't it?
That's what I'm going to ask these fans. They're asking me in the studio that in the morning it started raining. In the afternoon there were rains. You guys made the match. You all were patient all day. What did it ever seem that the match might not happen and it might be a disappointment? क्या लग रहा था?
मैच जो हो जाता बिना खेल के तो हम तो नाराज होते। हम पूरे गाड़ी लेके इधर आए, बाइक कार हम पूरी टूर कर रहे हैं। हम गुजरात के पास एक दीव छोटा आइलैंड से उधर से आए। पूरी टूर्नामेंट हम गाड़ी से देखे। अब इधर आके मैच नहीं होता तो पूरा नाराज हो जाते।
You know, Shobit, I kept saying all day that in Calcutta, I'm a Calcutta boy, Nor'westers happen, but they clear out. I mean, this was a freakish match. After all the political drama, after everything, if there was no match, it would have been a disappointment. In that Eden Gardens, even when I was coming out, there was 5 runs to get for India to win. People were telling me, you have a ticket? And I started laughing. I mean, like, what is going on here? For 700,000, why don't we have a cheer for Team India? Come on.
India! Especially Virat Kohli is the best! India!
Okay, you know, you were waving the flag for me. Now tell me, how good is Virat Kohli? Tell me, come on. How good is Virat Kohli? You know, the point is, Shobit, point is, Nikhil, this crowd, it's midnight here in Calcutta. Transport system isn't the best, but it just doesn't matter because the dancing in the aisles has started. People will head out to Park Street, to all the dance bars, to all the restaurants, which will do great business. All the 5-star hotels will do great business because this is one party that will not end.
Absolutely.
Boria, ask the fans how great was this victory. They had a lot of legends in the stadium. Of course, kudos to Saurav Ganguly to pull this game off. You had Virendra Sehwag in the stadium. You had Sachin Tendulkar in the stadium. You had lots and lots of legendary figures in the stadium. How sweet is this victory in front of them?
I'll ask them. Hey, Mira, listen to me. One second. My anchor is asking and my expert is asking from the studio that all these legends were there. Sachin was there, Imran Khan was there, Wasim was there. How big is this victory in front of all these legends?
It's like a dream come true because we have never won in Eden Gardens against Pakistan, and this is the first time we have won. So we want to enjoy like anything. India!
You know, as I said, Shobhit, this crowd has been waiting here patiently from 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's midnight, so it's been 10 hours. But the passion hasn't been dimmed because Virat Kohli has given India a new lifeline in this tournament. Why don't you go to some other cities and then come back to me as I celebrate with these fans right here?
Absolutely, Boria. Kolkata will turn tonight into the city that never sleeps, Boria. This party is set to continue through the night in the city of joy. But let me go across to Anusha, who joins us from the capital, New Delhi. Anusha, how is Delhi celebrating India's victory today? All right, the party in Kolkata will continue through the night. Anusha joins us from the capital, New Delhi. Anusha, how is Delhi celebrating India's victory? Go ahead.
Well, Delhi is here all in high spirits celebrating this big victory. I have a few fans with me and more importantly a little fan here. Did you see the match today? Yes, I see. You saw the match. Who was your favorite player? Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli. So India won the match. You enjoyed it? Yes, I enjoyed. Yes, you did. And I have a few other, supporters also here joining me, sir. A very crucial victory here for India.
Yeah, I knew India is going to win this match, and the same Virat Kohli, our hero of India.
Yeah.
He made to win the match, and moreover, Yuvraj Singh was nice, and we really enjoyed this match. There were thousands of people seeing this match over here,
Yeah.
and we really enjoyed.
What about India versus Pakistan? Always more than cricket, right?
Yeah, right. Because see, India, it's.
It's a clear-cut message, I will say. It's a clear-cut message
What is the clear-cut message, sir? What is the clear-cut?
towards Pakistan that it stands no way in front of us, whether it is match, whether it's the army.
Well, you clearly see that India versus Pakistan is always more than cricket. And here at DLF Promenade, till midnight, there was a huge screening for the match. That continued. Fans present here in large number. Delhi, the national capital, celebrates the victory for India.
Absolutely. It was a disappointing loss against New Zealand in the tournament opener where Team India really performed below power. And but once again, we found our winning touch as we beat Pakistan and continue our domination of Pakistan in this World Cup. Let me quickly go across to Eden Gardens where Boria Majumdar is still live with us along with fans who are behind him waving the tricolour. Boria, of course the party will continue into the night, but one quick question on Virat Kohli. Is he the true heir to Sachin Tendulkar now?
Obviously, I mean, there is no question, and the master was actually in the stands. I asked this question to Sachin when we did that show the other day, that is Sachin seeing himself in Virat and how good is Virat? There is no question that if you are finishing matches like the way Virat Kohli is doing, he is the new talisman for India, and he's finishing matches from high pressure situations. Let me ask these fans. The question my friends from the studio are asking is, how good is Virat Kohli?
Virat Kohli is the best. He's matured himself a lot. He is a mix of Sachin and the other greats, and he's really blossoming himself into the future captain of India.
Tell me something. आपने ये hairdo कहाँ से बना लिया?
ये मैं धोनी का देख के बनाया था. धोनी जब चैंपियन हुआ था T20 वर्ल्ड कप.
चलिए, let's have a cheer for Team India. Come on.
India! India! India!
When we talk about Virat Kohli, the more we talk about Virat Kohli, he keeps surprising us, isn't it, Nikhil? Isn't it, Shobhit? Saurav Ganguly keeps saying that Virat Kohli is just a champion. He performs in Australia, he performs everywhere in the world. And when it comes to a pressure situation, 23 for 3 against Pakistan. In the Asia Cup, it was 12 for 3. Today, it was 23 for 3. And once again, unbeaten, finishing the match for India. It's just unbelievable the way Virat Kohli can soak in pressure. And you know, what you might have not seen on television, when he was walking down those steps and we were in the clubhouse at the Eden Gardens, there was a spring in his stride. When he walked inside the ground, he was actually jumping and running. That tells you he wants to be there, make the occasion his own and perform in these high pressure situations.
Absolutely, isn't it? Even after the Asia Cup, Virat Kohli had said that he was very glad to play that phenomenal spell by Mohammad Amir in Dhaka. So he looks forward to these challenges. A true mark of a champion, isn't it, that he doesn't hide. He wants to be out in the middle and take his team to the finish line.
Well, the beauty about his mental aspect of the game, Shobhit, is that he wants a challenge. He wants his capabilities being put to a test against quality oppositions, against quality bowling attacks. You know, he's one person who likes to raise his level of game. You look at his average, each time Team India go out chasing a total and Team India has won, Virat Kohli's average is more than 100. Just goes to show how he calculates his game, and he wants to go out there and put his best foot forward against some of the top bowlers of the world, because he wants to be recognized as a player and he wants to be tagged as a player. You know, difficult conditions, difficult situations, Virat Kohli is your go-to man. You know, he lives by that spirit and he wants that reputation and he's living by that reputation.
And justifying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most difficult thing in sport is, with every victory, with every winning run that you get and you get your team across the line, expectations grow, and he's living and he's coming clean every single time on those expectations. Incredible.
All right, Boria, before I come to you, Boria, just hold on. Indian skipper MS Dhoni is about to address the press conference. Let's listen.
No, I think he will be in best position to answer this, but whatever I can answer, I'll try to answer. I think it's the hunger to perform, you know, that willingness to take up the challenge. You know, every opportunity, you know, different people look at the same thing in different ways. You know, that famous example of half glass of water. You know, whether it's half full or half empty, you know, how you see it. And I feel his biggest plus point is he takes everything as a challenge. He wants to improve. He wants to contribute in each and every game. And that's what it's all about, you know, because he wants to contribute. He wants to score runs. He prepares well. You know, he takes care of his fitness. He knows, he understands now in different wickets how he's supposed to bat so that he can score runs. And we all know once he gets going, you know, once he gets a start, he always converts it into a big innings, which I feel is one of the most important thing for any young into the game. When you're scoring runs, make sure you score a lot of runs, because everybody will go through a bad patch, and what you have to do is try to minimize that duration. And the best way is, you know, when you're going through your purple patch, make sure you're scoring a lot of runs.
Mine is just an extension of this question. When, you know, Virat has spoken a lot of times about how he, you know, goes about chasing a target, breaks down into small targets, taking in consideration number of overs, wickets, whatever calculations he's made. When batting with him or watching from the outside, how do you see him building his innings? Say in, okay, let's say in the T20 context at the moment, because it's been all T20 cricket. So how do you see him from the outside building his innings?
No, it's very simple. What an innings is all about is how you're converting. You know, when you're under pressure, there are few ways how you tackle pressure. You know, at times we have seen in Test cricket or ODI and T20 format, when there's a lot of pressure, often individuals, you know, they go for the big shot. You know, it seems at that point of time that that's the best option. But when you're under a lot of pressure, the best way to deal with is to take a single, go to the other end. You know, because that calms you down. At the same time, you have that positive intent because you're looking for a single. And you know your areas, and everybody knows what their strength is. You know, for some it's a flick, for some it's a cut. So if it's in your area, you have to play your shot. If not, try to take a single, go to the other end. And if you see his batting, that's what he really does. And where he has an edge over others is, you know, you have to push hard. That's why, you know, he loves batting with individuals who can run hard with him. Because running hard is the easiest way to score runs. You know, you hit it in the middle, mid-wicket, between long on and mid-wicket. If you have two good runners, you can convert that 1 into 2 or 1.5 runs into 2. And that puts a lot of pressure on the bowler and the fielding side. So that's what it's all about, you know, how you calculate, what are the stuff that you need to do. And of course, you need to bat, you know, minimum 70 to 80 balls, you know, to score 100. You know, yes, in the T20 format, we have seen 15 or 16 ball 50, but I'm saying on an average, you need to bat that many deliveries, and for that, you have to prepare yourself.
It was a do-or-die match, and Team India once again came out on top against Pakistan in the T20 World Cup. Joining me live is Boria Majumdar from outside the Eden Gardens. Nikhil Chopra is with me here in the studios. And now former Australian captain Steve Waugh also joins us live on this broadcast. Steve, did you find it difficult to get out of the stadium following India's victory? We are seeing scenes of crowds passing around the tricolours and jumping around on the streets. Do you now agree with Ashwin that this rivalry between India and Pakistan is probably bigger than the Ashes?
Look, it's certainly a huge affair, and you're right, we couldn't get out of the ground. It was totally gridlocked, and we left with an over to go. We thought we had enough time, but obviously we misjudged that. But look, a great experience. I really enjoyed being at Eden Gardens tonight. You know, I think the Indian crowd was worried. 3 wickets down, they were very subdued in the out of it. Then as soon as Virat Kohli got going, and then Dhoni towards the end, the celebration started. So it was a great spectacle. I really enjoyed the experience, and it certainly puts into perspective how big India versus Pakistan clash is in cricket.
Of course, the loss against New Zealand was disappointing, isn't it, Steve? But do you think this victory against Pakistan will give us the momentum now, and Team India can justify our world #1 ranking and go the distance in this World Cup?
Look, there's no doubt they've got the side. They've got the class players under pressure situations. You saw that tonight. Virat Kohli was on a different level to the rest of the batsmen. That was a very difficult track to navigate, and he made it look easy. So, look, he's definitely the trump card for India. And then MS Dhoni, even though he didn't have a lot of runs to get at the end, he made it look easy. So, you've got some great finishes there. I think the bowling looked pretty impressive. I thought Ashwin bowled very well tonight. Jadeja was impressive. And the fielding of India was pretty good also. It was a nice win for India tonight. They were under pressure. There were moments there where the game was in the balance, but their class shone through.
Yeah, my consulting editor Boria Majumdar is still live with us from the Eden Gardens. Boria has a couple of questions for Steve, so Boria, go ahead.
Steve, you were talking about Virat Kohli. How would you differentiate Virat from the other batsmen? I mean, what makes him different? Is it just class? Is it potential? Or is it a little bit more? I mean, he wants to soak in the pressure and perform on the big occasions.
Yeah, a little bit like Sachin Tendulkar. He walks out to bat and he embraces the pressure. He really wants it, and I think he needs it. He needs that pressure to bring the best out in him. It brings that inner strength and that will and that fight which he's got. Not only that though, his match awareness is second to none. He knows when to accelerate. He knows when to hit the gaps, and he chooses the type of bowlers he was going to attack. And look, it was calculated risk, but he looked like he was in control the whole time, and that's difficult to do. He made it look easy tonight.
You mentioned Sachin. I was just having a chat with Sachin a few minutes ago, and he's flying back to Mumbai. He said it was a treat to watch Virat Kohli. He felt proud to have watched Virat Kohli, and he was talking about his calmness. Did that actually sort of stand out for you as well, that Virat was totally calm during the run chase?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think they're great players. They seem to have that little bit of extra time. They seem to be relaxed at the crease, and I think he gave the other players around him confidence. Yuvraj Singh, I think, found it reassuring to bat with Kohli, and anyone who was with him, he seems to know exactly when to up the tempo a bit, to put pressure on the Pakistani bowlers and fielders. And tonight was a lesson for everyone. I think for all the other cricketers watching, how to play under pressure, how to sum up the situation, and how to see it through to the conclusion. It was a quality performance.
You know, Steve, I've been asking you about Shahid Afridi since yesterday night on our show. How would you assess Afridi's captaincy today? Do you think he actually made a number of blunders?
Not so much blunders. I was disappointed with his batting. He looked like he froze a little bit today. It was a golden opportunity for him to go out there and just play his shots and let his natural game take control. But he didn't seem to have a plan B with his batting. He looked locked into just swinging across the line. So, you know, that he wasted a few valuable balls there. Bowling-wise, I think potentially he was the most dangerous Pakistan bowler. When you saw his first over, some of those balls turned square. If he had got that right, and I think he needed a bat pad for Yuvraj turning in, he could have taken the crucial wicket. So he'd be disappointed with his performance. He didn't bat well, he didn't bowl well, and his captaincy didn't seem that assured. Perhaps he suffered from actually having too many bowlers. And sometimes when you're a captain, you look around, you've got 6 or 7 options, you feel like you've got to give everyone a bowl. I thought he left it too late to bring back the strike bowler, Mohammad Amir. Should have bowled, I think he should have bowled earlier than he did towards the end.
Steve, I'll toss it back to my colleague and friend Nikhil Chopra, who's in the Delhi studio. Nikhil, fire away.
Well, Steve, you know, we all know that maybe Shahid Afridi had probably one of the worst nights, but just looking at hindsight, do you think he probably read the conditions slightly differently, leaving out that left arm spinner after the way we saw that ball turn?
I think if you ask any player before the game, did they expect the ball to turn and jump the way it did, no one would have predicted that. I just think it was just one of those days where everyone was amazed at the turn and bounce Ashwin got in the first over he bowled. It was quite astounding. I think it was like watching a fourth-day Test match wicket. So that caught everyone by surprise. And I was in the box briefly with Saurav Ganguly, and even he didn't expect that. So I don't think you could blame anyone for not predicting it was going to turn like it did.
Absolutely. Now, Steve, one question. You must have seen a bit of Ajinkya Rahane. Do you think in the matches coming ahead, Rahane could get a look into the Indian side?
Well, I think you got an insight into what a quality player can do under pressure. It doesn't matter whether it's 20-20, 50 overs or Test matches. Quality players come through in big situations. And in my mind, Rahane is a quality player. I saw him score 100 at Lords. It reminded me of Tendulkar, and every time I see him play, he walks out to bat, you feel as if he's going to score runs. So, look, I don't want to put pressure on the other batsmen who are not scoring runs right now, but, you know, I think well, I know this guy is a quality player, and if India want another batsman they can rely upon in that middle order, then he's certainly one who could do that.
Absolutely, Boria. India needs a batsman we can rely on, isn't it? Raina hasn't performed, although Dhoni gave his vote of confidence to Raina in the post-match press conference, and Dhawan hasn't really fired. Do you think a batsman like Rahane, who can anchor the innings, can find a place in this Indian batting lineup?
Let me actually ask that to fans, because they've been waiting patiently, Shobit. It's 12:30 and the transport system in Calcutta isn't the best. You know, they're asking if Ajinkya Rahane, you think, deserves a place in place of maybe a Suresh Raina.
No, even if today was a one kind of instance where Suresh Raina might not perform, you know, the way he has always done. But Ajinkya Rahane coming up to the scene and performing as much as Raina has always done, I feel that we should always give him one more chance. And the best possible thing is that since we have already won against Pakistan today, so there should not be any questions asked. It's always a win-win situation for India.
So why don't we have a cheer for Team India?
Yes!
Shobit, one question to Steve before you and Nikhil take it away again. Steve, how was the experience at the Eden Gardens? You were watching with Saurav. How was Saurav taking that pitch? Because yesterday he said 9 times on our show it'll be a batting deck, and it wasn't you know, going to turn much. But how was he taking that?
Look, I only saw him for a couple of minutes. He was totally surprised. I sat with Imran Khan for all of the match, and that was a real treat. Imran's a good friend of mine, and he was very interested in the match. He believed Pakistan had a good chance of winning, but they didn't execute well tonight, Pakistan. They seemed a little bit frightened, a little bit scared and apprehensive, and sometimes I think they had a bit of stage fright tonight at the vital stages. But overall, you know, fantastic experience. The wicket wasn't great, but it made for a close game, and it was exciting, and everyone seemed happy walking away from Eden Gardens.
Shobit, you know, that's the kind of answer you get from an Australian captain. Pakistan looked a little scared. That's the Steve Waugh we love, and that's what has made him a legend. Steve, this match, this stadium made the Steve Waugh legend in 1987. How was the crowd treating you? Did you have a chance to sort of, you know, meet some ordinary people, ordinary fans, people who actually make this game in India what it is?
Yeah, and of course in India everyone recognises you within 0.3 of a second, so there was always photos and wanting autographs, and I was actually quite humbled as I walked into the stadium, because there was a picture of myself with the 1999 World Cup on the outside of the stadium, so that was a nice touch. But look, it was great to be there. I was inside a box for most of it, but there was lots of people you know, waving and saying hello, and a really friendly, nice atmosphere. It's a pleasure to be back here in Calcutta. It's a great place to watch and a great place to play.
Absolutely, and you know,
Shobit, over to you.
Absolutely, MS Dhoni, we know that likes to stick to his winning combinations. We've seen that, seen him do this in the past big tournaments as well. But Nikhil, this question to you: do you see him continuing with this playing 11, or do you see any changes with, especially the big match against Australia now?
Yeah, without a doubt, I don't see any sort of change. It's worked well for Mahendra Singh Dhoni until unless you get another track like Nagpur, and where maybe Hardik Pandya sits out and you get Harbhajan Singh as a third spinner in. To be honest, I don't see another track like this. Like Steve was saying, nobody expected this track to behave the way it did. I didn't expect the one at Nagpur to behave like the way he did.
Maybe sort of knew that Pakistani fans would be watching, Pakistani team would be watching. He didn't want to give away how the wicket would play in this big match.
Yeah, but to be honest, to answer your question, I don't see you know, a change in the winning combination. I still feel against Australia, you'll have Hardik Pandya come and bowl as well, and you'll have maybe 10 overs of spin, 4 from the 2 regular spinners, and maybe 2 from Suresh Raina, 1 from Suresh Raina, maybe Yuvraj Singh comes and turns his arm over. Otherwise, I don't see a change in the playing level.
Steve, one quick word on Indian skipper MS Dhoni. We know him as Captain Cool. How important would it be for him to maintain his cool, and how important was he for India out in the middle now, especially when we compare his performance to that of Shahid Afridi?
Look, I think he captained pretty well. I think perhaps he could have bowled Ashwin another over, or even Jadeja when they were bowling well. But I mean, he knows his side very well. He was composed again. I like the way he actually batted at the end. Even though most people thought the game was over, he just saw it through to a conclusion, and he did it with authority and calmness. And they're the hallmarks of what he does. So, look, this Indian side is a well-managed, well-coached side and well-captained side. And I don't see too many changes, as quite a few people have mentioned. Once you get on a winning side, you don't want to make too many changes. And this Indian side, they seem a pretty tight unit, and they're going to be hard to beat.
Absolutely. Nikhil, one quick word on Dhoni, and you had a question for Steve as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been there. You know, he soaks in the pressure. He knows how to handle pressure, and he doesn't show it on the other guys as well. You know, he doesn't show any sort of emotions, which is a class thing to have. I wanted to ask Steve, he was there at England. Steve, your thoughts on UV going out there and soaking pressure and taking some of that pressure off Virat Kohli and looking to express himself?
Yeah, look, he played a vital innings. I must admit, when he first went in, he did look a bit shaky, and I think Pakistan missed a trick by not bowling probably Mohammad Irfan, the big quick. I think he probably could have bowled and could have attacked him with a short ball, but at the end of the day, he played a very composed and an important innings, and you can see the value of the experience in those crucial situations because he kept a cool head. It was a good partnership, and he would have been disappointed to get out when he did because it looked like he was going to see the match to a conclusion. But overall, I mean, that was the partnership that won the match for India.
Absolutely. Steve, one quick question I wanted to ask you. I mean, we play Australia now, and it's a big match. You know both India and Australian sides extremely well. What are India's strengths when we compare it to the Aussie side, and what can we do to win that crucial, knockout match, if I can call it now, against the Aussies?
Well, I don't want to give you too many clues because I want Australia to win, obviously. But look, I think it's going to be an outstanding match. It shapes up to me as the match of the tournament because look, Australia obviously need to win that. You know, this group is very hard to pick who's going to go through the semi-finals. Australia will be a little bit concerned about their batting the other day. I thought their chase wasn't well orchestrated. They looked like they panicked a bit, and they didn't have any partnerships. So from Australia's point of view, they need to establish partnerships, particularly against spin bowling, which has been a bit of a problem area over the last couple of years. A little bit troubled by the way Steve Smith got out. I haven't seen him run past a spinner for a long time. I just hope he doesn't get some self-doubts about the next time he plays against India. So from India's point of view, look, they've been on a winning streak for the last 12 months. They won't change much. They're very well set in what they do. Australia have just got to work on partnerships, and they've probably got to be a little bit more patient with their batting.
Absolutely. Boria had a question. Boria, go ahead.
Steve, you've already answered part of it. I mean, if I can ask you the Indian game plan, would you actually sort of want, rather you think that India should once again go in with a turning track and then sort of pack it with spinners, maybe even get Harbhajan Singh in place of Hardik Pandya?
Well, I don't know how I don't think they have any control over what the pitches are going to be like. I guess it's an ICC controlled event, so I don't think it means the home side gets to have the pitches they would like. But obviously you're in India, the pitches are going to turn. That's just the natural nature of the soil and the grounds over here. Australia expect that. They're prepared for that. I think from Australia's point of view, they've just got to make sure that they stick with the same sort of side. I think we've had a lot of changes. Even the other day, the order was changed again. I'm a little bit concerned. I think our best opening combination was Finch and Warner, who did a great job over the past 12 to 18 months. We've changed that around, so that's a bit of a gamble. There's no doubt Australia's got the talent, but they're going to be under extreme pressure when they come up against India. And it's going to take a special innings from one of the class players to get a good total for Australia.
One final question from me, Steve. I was actually having a chat with David Warner when he was in Kolkata the other day, and I asked him this very thing, that why are you batting in the middle order? He said he wants to maneuver. I mean, he wants to get a left-hander in the middle order to try and maneuver the middle overs. That was getting a problem. Would you have batted him at the top and, you know, sort of continued with the combination that was a settled one?
It's hard to say. I mean, again, like India in their first game, there's no point in pushing the panic button because you haven't batted well once. They've obviously got a game plan. The selectors have talked about it. The captains talked about it. I'm sure the players are comfortable. It just looked you know, a bit out of kilter the other day. They just didn't put a partnership together. So I'm not going to judge them too harshly after one performance. I know that they've got world-class players there. As I said at the start of the tournament, on good batting pitches, I still think we've got the best batting lineup. But there are question marks if the ball does turn. That's going to be a real challenge for us. And I think Dave Warner is, along with Steve Smith, are our two best batsmen. We need one of those guys to get a big score.
Shobit, fire away.
Absolutely, Boria. And Steve Waugh, thank you so much for joining us on India Today. Boria Majumdar, thank you for joining us. After this match, celebrations continue at the Eden Gardens, isn't it? We are still getting visuals of people out on the street celebrating India's victory. It's the big match that we have won against Pakistan. Now it's a small matter of just winning this World Cup. Nikhil Chopra, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. You know, as I was mentioning, celebrations continue across India. Here is a special report from my colleague Rashesh, and he tells us how Mumbai is celebrating this victory against Pakistan.
और अच्छा नहीं और इंडिया युवराज सिंह के गेम को भी एंजॉय किया आज एक अहम मौके पे उन्होंने रन्स बनाए युवराज और विराट ने मैच लेके आया बाद में धोनी ने एंड किया विद विराट they know their cricket, they know very well that it was Yuvraj who made the difference, and these scenes are quite incredible. This is the joy that an Indian victory against the Pakistan team in a World Cup gives to these fans, and each of those fans are going to continue to support the Indian team through the World Cup, and as expected, they are now confident that India can actually go all the way in this World Cup campaign. In Mumbai, with cameraman Mahesh More, Rashesh Multani for India Today.